of you who are regulars to the Gateway High School Musical, you know that seeing somebody up here on stage after a performance is a very irregular occurrence. But this is the kind of occurrence that we only thought that this was fitting for. I have had the pleasure of knowing Larry Cervi for the last 14 years, and I have learned more about theater, teaching, and life from him than he could ever understand. From the first time I met him during a rehearsal for Les Miserables in 2009, I knew that this was someone that I needed to absorb all the information from that I could. Larry Cervi has directed more than 30 productions on this very stage, and so many more at many local high schools in our area. After all of these years and so many shows, Larry has decided to step out of the figurative spotlight and to retire from directing. If you do the math, that is thousands of students that have benefited from his leadership, his knowledge of the craft, and his passion and dedication to the arts. Many of these students have gone on to study theater and benefited every step of the way from the lessons that Larry taught them about being on stage. But many more students have gone on to study fields outside of the arts, and each and every one of them carry with them the lessons taught by Larry Cervi during their time on his stage. Thank you, Larry, for everything that you have done for me in my professional life and my personal life. Thank you from me, and thank you from the countless students whose lives you have touched. While I've been lucky to work with such an inspiring man for the last 14 years, I would like to give a moment to my mentor and dear friend, Mr. Robert Reed, who had the honor of working with Mr. Cervi for much longer than I have.
Thank you. First off, congratulations to the cast and crew of this incredible show. When I began my teaching career 40 years ago at Churchill Area High School, one of the first people I was introduced to was Larry Cervi. Little did I know at that time what an impact he would have on my career and on the lives of thousands of kids. Throughout my 36-year teaching career, I would pause quite often and I would reflect on the teachings of my first mentors, Jerry Ralzo, Jerry Shannon, John Lloyd, and Larry Cervi. While there are many stories and accolades to bestow on Larry, I believe it's Larry's attention to detail and his insistence on quality and professionalism that are some of the greatest teaching moments he shared over the years. And that's certainly still true to this day, as we've all witnessed tonight with this production of the Drowsy Chaperone. When Larry came to Gateway for our production as a music band in 1991, it was the start of a great collaboration for what has now been 31 years. And like the awesome cast of this year's show, so many Gateway students have benefited from Larry's creative intelligence and insistence on producing top quality art. On behalf of the many staff members that have helped me to work on shows over the years here at Gateway, I want to congratulate you, Larry, on your retirement, and I want to wish the best of luck to his wife, Donna, as she navigates through life and future with Larry now being home 24/7. Good luck with that. Congratulations, Larry. Will you join us on stage?
microphone to Larry, I'd like to read this plaque. Our theater guild has had this plaque made to be hung somewhere in our lobby in honor of Larry and all of his years with us. It reads, Larry F. Cervi, Director. In recognition of over 30 years of commitment and dedication to the Gateway Music Department's theater program, we will be forever grateful for your inspiring motivation, your shared insights, and your artistic direction.
All right, first of all, I'm going to still direct, so I want the house lights on. I don't like talking to darkness. Please bring up the house lights. And I want my cast to split in half and move over there and over here, and I want this crew to do the same thing. I want you on the side so I can see what I'm talking. Come on down, stage right, stage left. Sorry, I'm still the director. I have to be honest with you. I had a little word saying, Larry, there might be something happening afterwards, so be prepared. I have no idea what it was. I didn't know anything about Bob and Jim going to make their speeches on that plaque and so forth. But I decided I needed to have some kind of preparation, so I did take a few notes. First of all, I have many, many thanks. Well, my thanks to God is who I thank all the time first. I thank him for giving me the talent and the endurance that I've had over these 86 years, or yes, 86 years. Most of all, I thank him for my wife, Donna. Because of her support over 60 years of being home, with the early years raising the 4 little children, while I was at school. Many of my majorettes are here tonight from Swissvale and Churchill. And we would be at high school working from 2:30 to 5. And I'd run home over to Churchill, eat a fast dinner, and then run back to the school to work on a play or a musical. So it was many, many hours away from Donna. And I couldn't have done it without her love. And I know she's shared that with me for all these years. And the wonderful families that she's given me. 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 2 greats. And 3 of my kids couldn't be here tonight because they're out of town, but one is, Gary, thank you for coming all the way from Philadelphia with your kids to be here. I want to thank the talented cast and crew for all that you've done, and the 2 wonderful lighting people up there, and the lighting technicians who help create these lights who don't get the applause because you're up there. Yeah, we do that. We still do that. Bob mentioned you, I was going to explain how it happened, but he called me and said, "Will you come and direct Music Man in 1991?" And so for 20 years, we did shows together. And of course, many of you will remember 3 of my favorites, I don't want to offend anyone. And it is West Side Story and On the Town. And then, for the last 6 years, I've had the pleasure of working with Jim and his wonderful personality. And he does have a good personality. Jim and Bob and I couldn't have done it without a phenomenal staff. And one of the people that I want to honor is our TD, or Technical Director, Greg Englund, who for a number of years has worked his butt off creating sets and designing things like the Revolve that we had in Carousel, the Revolve that we have for Les Mis, and now even an airplane that he designed. So Greg, thank you for your creativity and for all the wonderful cooperating with all of us. Now, for a number of years, he's had people working with him, and I just want to mention a few names, but these are the people who have been on for years. Connie Rampant, Mike Baer, Charles Chase, Tim Dunn, Dave Felbo, Gary Christian, Bill Gephardt, Paul Whealdon. Please give those names. They need to be here. Thank you, guys. For this wonderful set design. She took me here to this meeting for the show, but I certainly want to recognize her for designing the set. Thank you, Kim. Well, she's here. The ladies who are living over there in House Right are our costume people. But those women, Debbie Cross, and Lisa, Carolyn Gatsby, and Big Sinbad have been here for years. I also want to thank Mary Chase and Rachel Whealdon for the props, and Stephanie Davis, who did all the decorations, and she's had a seat on this set, all the props and so forth. Thank you, Stephanie, and Rachel, and Mary. Some of that is the vocals, so I think way back, Jim Rousseau helped us with the musicals, Dan Schmidt and Eric Lassie. Thank you, people, for your wonderful talent. My favorite components, and you know that, having been somewhat of a choreographer myself years ago. I want to thank the choreographers who worked, Kim Merge, Katie Kelly, and Rudy Wright. Rudy is here to tell you why I brought her on. Some of you may know that one of my dreams was to do a chorus line before I left. And so I said to Jim, let's try doing a chorus line. So we went at it and had auditions and so forth. And I said, Rudy Wright choreographed a chorus line at West Allegheny High School where my granddaughter was Cassie in the show. I said, I loved it, so she's living in this area, so let's hire her to do a chorus line. So she came in, she did the audition piece and so forth, and yes, it's fine. But we had trouble finding enough boys to fill the whole chorus line that we need, more than what we have up here. So we decided we couldn't do it. But let me tell you how my love for the chorus line goes way back. One of my very first students appeared in a chorus line. She called me. She was working at CMU. She called me one day about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. She said, Mr. Cervi, I have a decision I have to make. I have this wonderful job at Carnegie Mellon, assisting Paul Draper, who was a tap dance guru at the time. And she said, but I got this offer to go into the chorus line with Tori. But my mother wants me to stay home. She likes it in Pittsburgh for me, and she wants to have grandkids. All this kind of stuff. I said, Barbara, by the way, her name is Barbara. I said, Barbara. She says, I don't know what to do. I said, Barbara, it's interesting. I just taught an English class where there was a ship in a glass enclosed dome, and the ship belabored the fact that it never got out to sea. I said, I'm thinking about that right now as I'm talking to you. Nikki, Barbara. Now her professional name is Nikki Harris, and she's on this poster that I've had for years, and we brought it put up. And then all of a sudden I got this message from Nikki saying, Larry, we're coming to see your final show. Nikki, stand up please, and thank you for coming here. That my life has been gratified because I've lived many gratifying moments in stadiums when I worked for Pitt Band, Penn State, and Churchill Band, and on many stages, Churchill, on tour, West Allegheny, Burgettstown, Riverview. I've done a lot of places, but none as precious as this. I spent most of my life here on stage. And once again, I thank you all. Thank God. Thank you. I do want to say one other thing. So, sometimes I encourage people to go on and these three are making an effort to go on and study theater. And these two are interested in acting, and I can just see this one in film, you see this face. And she has already been accepted to Carnegie Mellon, and